Start by giving you a brief overview of the service. Here at Business Propel, we're calling our service the next evolution in business assessment tools. Offering an end-to-end view, Propel helps shape your business for success. We work with your business to help you assess and refine your current methods to ensure your business is operating and performing at the top of its game. Getting started by testing the strengths and weaknesses of your business is easy. Just start by taking a few minutes to complete one of our health assessments, and then you'll receive a comprehensive report that outlines where your business is doing well and what changes need to be made. And all of this feeds neatly into action plans that help you on the way to achieving business success, along with a series of resources that can help you take those actions. Business Propel helps SMEs improve their business performance in 5 key business areas: strategy, financials, operations, customers, and people. We deliver a professional consulting service online which incorporates a consulting audit, recommended actions, and best practice resources. And all of that information is available 24/7. Now, as I mentioned, Paul is one of our premium users, which means he's got access to not only the health assessments and the action plans, but also the online business planning tool set. Now, to start off with, Paul, tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so I am a project manager by trade, and working in construction is very cyclical in terms of business. So we do a lot of internal and external hiring. So we hire in machines and labour when we're very busy, and when we're not so busy, we hire them out. So with that, we want to track the costs if we're hiring people in to make sure that our jobs are making money. Mm-hmm. And if we're hiring them out, we want to track what sort of hours they're doing so that we can do invoicing. Currently, with our system, that's done with carbon copy coloured docket books. So you sort of, write down hours and job and supervisor, and then sort of, makes 3 copies. One goes to the labourer, one goes to the supervisor, and one goes to the supply company admin. So with that comes a lot of manual data entry. So the supplying company needs to type it into their invoicing software, and then on the receiving side, we need to type it into our daily costings, and also we'll need to track it in our invoicing software so that we can make sure that when we get invoiced, they're only charging what they should. So the company I've started called Quickdockets, it attempts to just eliminate that data entry. Okay. So it's kind of like a mobile timesheet app, but it's more niche for civil construction. So it does things like safety pre-starts, allows for supervisors to approve the dockets, and also allows for supervisors to code the dockets and sort of split them up as per budget line items. So that's pretty much where the business is at. We're sort of getting pretty close to having a final product, and so I'm trying to use this time to learn as much as I can about running a business. As okay as a project manager, but as a business owner, I have no experience. Right. So that's I suppose where Business Propel came in handy. Coming in handy.
So how did you discover Business Propel in the first place?
I actually met Joel at a meetup, and he was very knowledgeable and suggested we meet up and just to network and sort of discuss ideas. And he said, hey, this Business Propel might help you. He sort of was listening to my story and sort of some of my fears as a new business owner. Mm-hmm. And it just sort of went from there. I sort of signed up for the free version, the trial version, and sort of I liked it, and then moved on to the premium version to sort of see what that was all about. And so that's pretty much how I got into it.
Great. So now that you've had a chance to spend some time with Business Propel, what have you found particularly valuable?
So what I found and what I found valuable. So I found that my business score is quite low. as to be expected. But one of my main fears going into running a business is I don't even know what I don't know. I was reading a book and it sort of said, even if your cost of goods are profitable, but if there's a sort of a lag in terms of payment, then if you scale up too quickly, you're going to be out of pocket and you're going to go bankrupt. So for me, that was counterintuitive. I wouldn't have even sort of thought about that unless I was prompted.
Right.
So leading on from that, I thought, well, what else is there that I don't know? And for a while there, I was sort of thinking about getting a business coach, but they tend to be fairly expensive, and we're being a small startup with no revenue, sort of bootstrapping at the moment. I didn't quite have the funds to sort of sit down with a business coach every week. And then, Business Propel just sort of fell in my lap. And that's worked out really well because I went through and did a business health check, which I didn't score too well on. But the good things for me is it sort of highlighted all those areas where I should work on, and sort of came out of it with 20 or 30 action items, and then I can sort of prioritize them. So one of them was, say, a succession plan, or if I got sick, in terms of the first couple of weeks, couple of months, year of the business, if I got sick for 2 or 3 weeks, that would be the end of it. So it was just sort of something that I hadn't thought about that could have knocked the whole business on the head, and then sort of now armed with that knowledge, and I've sort of taken some actions to mitigate that risk. Hopefully it doesn't come to fruition, but now I'm prepared. So it gives me a bit more confidence just in terms of starting a business and not necessarily knowing that nothing can get me, but sort of there's a smaller subset of problems that I haven't thought of, and just with all the experience behind Business Propel, that sort of gives me a fair amount of confidence that they've got years in the business, so they're sort of thinking about those problems, and I like leveraging other people's intelligences to sort of maximise my own potential. So
great. Okay. So as I said, what we wanted to do today in our webinar was to walk through the business planning tool, so people can get an idea of how it works, how easy it is to operate, and all that sort of thing. So I'll hand you the mouse, and I'll just get you to start to work through a business plan and just explain to us what you're doing along the way, and then we'll also be showing some screenshots that will give you a picture of how all this stuff comes together, and you can get an idea of how easy it all is. So why don't you go ahead and get started?
So I've already done my health check, which came up with a bunch of actions, but so logging in and starting on the main page, there's some tabs up the top, so just clicking on planning, and then it's pretty straightforward. So there's a drop down box with add new basic plan, and then it comes up with a progress bar sort of to help you show where you're at, so you can if you only have sort of 5 minutes a day, you can come back, but this process of setting up a business plan only takes 5 minutes. So also there's a nice video there that I won't watch now, but sort of when I was doing the original plan, sort of watched, and it sort of helps in terms of the overall process of what we're going to be doing. And then coming down here, clicking on get started. So enter the name of the plan. I might steal the laptop. So for me, one of my big things is I don't have any customers. I don't have any experience in sales. So for me, that's one of my big opportunities and risks, I suppose. So I'm probably going to look at a marketing and or sales plan. So up the top here, enter the name of the plan. So I'll call it marketing plan. And the other thing I kind of think that's pretty good about Business Propel is you can do the health checks over and over again. So You know, if I'm in good stead now, then it sort of will prompt me again to sort of do things again in 6 months or 12 months.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call this marketing plan 2016, just so that, you know, next year when I sort of do another marketing plan, I can name it 2017.
Yep.
So the date I want to start this plan to commence. So even though I sort of haven't finished the product yet, I'm sort of anticipating to finish in the next month or so. So I'm just going to start today.
Okay.
The date I want to complete the plan, so I might just put it a year in the future. Please add your mission statement. So the mission statement is to increase the number of customers and company reach. So I would love to have be selling maybe 5,000 dockets per maybe 5,000 dockets sort of by the end of next year. I think that's a fairly reasonable goal. So and I'll just hit we'll save and continue. There's also an option down here to copy from an existing plan, but this is sort of a new plan for me, so I'll just go.
Yep.
So continue. Okay, so you can see I've moved along on the progress bar. So there's building your plan, and there's another video, I believe, that sort of help guide you through the process as well.
Yeah, there's actually videos in there at every stage to help explain exactly what you need to do in case you need some tips.
Yeah, and I find that's very handy. I mean, as soon as I don't know how to do something, I'm straight on YouTube, so this sort of saves the step, to be honest.
Yeah. Good.
So then come down here to setting goals. So on the left here you've got add goals, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Enter goals. So I'm just going to, I don't really know what I should be doing for goals, so I'll just put marketing and see what it comes up. So it's recommending deliver quality leads through integrated marketing and increase effectiveness of marketing. So I think that they're both pretty good options, so I might just start with the top one.
Okay.
So enter brief description of your goal. So go from no marketing to marketing that pays for itself.
Sounds like a good goal.
We'll see if I get there. In terms of the group there, I'll pick customers because I believe nothing's to do with the customers, and then I'll just hit save.
Okay.
So that's added the one goal through there. I want more than one goal as part of this plan, so I'll go back to the left and I'll go to add goal. Then I might go to marketing again, if I can spell properly this time. And so increase effectiveness of marketing. So, and then I'll go, I actually told a bit of a lie before. I did dabble in a bit of marketing. I had an AdWords account there that I was using for a trial, and I got no sales out of it. So I'm going to put as a goal to increase the conversions from AdWords from 0. So I think it would be good to get maybe 2 or 3 people through AdWords to the site, maybe every day.
Mm-hmm.
So from 0 to call it 2 people to the website each day. And that's also customers, that group. So I'm going to say. So in terms of the marketing, that's probably it for my goals. I could probably add some more in terms of sales.
No, that probably is a good demonstration of how it works together. So why don't you go and look at putting some objectives against those goals?
Yep. So there's also another video here that sort of talks about the goals.
Mm-hmm.
And on the right down here, so if you have any problems about what sort of goals you should be asking, there's also an ask for help, which I believe goes to the experienced people who built the...
That's right, yeah, we've got an expert
Built the
panel
platform.
that will answer those questions for you.
Yep. And coming back up to the top, I'll just click next. And then so I come down to the objectives.
Mm-hmm.
So for each one of those goals, underneath there's a link there to add objectives and milestones. So for deliver quality leads through integrated marketing, my objective will be to find what channels. So in terms of the keyword, I'll just pick channels. So the options it's come up with are sales through channel partners, contact all channel partners, channel partners satisfaction for the sales support received, or increased value of distribution channel sales. So actually there's also grow distribution channel sales. So I probably want to grow them and increase the value of them, so I'll add that. Now it's come up with how am I going to measure the milestone. So by X%, it's kind of hard to go, a certain percent of 0 is still 0, but we'll just call it 100%.
Okay.
So the strategy complete date. So as we sort of said before, I'll probably put that goal sort of this time next year, and then set a future milestone to indicate the goal of your business. So future objective, have conversions at 2 per day.
Yep. Okay. All right.
And then what will be the success of this milestone, and that's the metric, so two lead conversions per day.
All right. Great.
So the strategy complete date, I'll put this time next year.
Okay.
And then I will hit save and add another.
So maybe October. Yeah.
So yeah, it says to put that milestone more than 12 months, so that's probably fair. So that should have added that goal. And then I will add one more.
Okay.
So, which one did I go last time? Was it grow distribution channel or increase value?
I think you increase value, so you might grow.
Grow
If you want to grow a
distribution.
distribution channel. Yeah.
So I also want to increase that by 100%.
Okay.
And so the start date for that strategy, so when the milestone is due, is also this time next year. What is your long-term objectives? So, I mean, if I could have a good online conversion rate, it's probably 5%, 10%, so I sort of need maybe 50 or 100 people sort of going through that channel per day. So how will I measure this metrics? So I will be tracking my metrics, and strategy complete date, we'll put it next year. So go save.
Okay.
So those are the goals for the deliver quality leads through integrated marketing.
Wow. So just in a few minutes, you've got goals and objectives, and it's even asking you about things that are going to happen in 3 years' time. So wow.
So that's pretty good. For me, 3 years is things are probably going to change in between now and then. I'll probably have to revisit this plan, but that's where the health check and everything sort of comes in, and then hopefully I was trying to be a bit conservative, so hopefully we get those metrics before that time. But yeah, it's definitely a good place to start, and it's definitely a good motivator.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens next then after you've come to that point in the plan?
Yeah. So just before moving on, down the bottom, you can still ask the experts a question, and there's some resources down the bottom where you can read more about what sort of goals, what sort of objectives and milestones you should be, or how to come up with your objectives and milestones. And then up on the top right, you just click next to go to link actions. So from the health check that we've already done, we can link some of the actions that came out of that health check to the plan and the goals and the activities. So down the bottom as well, it has more resources as well as how to get some help.
Yeah. Okay.
So under the title, there's the link for link activity plan. So just click on that.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Want to select the category, and so most of the marketing stuff is in customers.
Yeah.
So select that link. Existing activity plans. So we're going to go to this develop your marketing plan. So that's probably a pretty good one. I should do that.
Makes sense.
And then I go select. So now it's linked that one. I can come through and choose another one. So I'm going to go to customers as well, and I'm going to engage some key staff. So hopefully when we hit the ground running, and there's too much for me to do, so we sort of need to get some people, and I hadn't thought about that until I sort of got prompted. So I've sort of been doing a bit of work in the background, and sort of, some of these tasks include coming up with position descriptions and stuff like that. So I'm going to choose that one and hit select.
Okay.
I could go on all day, to be honest, but in the interest of keeping things short, I might just leave it at 2. But sort of, the more actions put in there, the sort of more valuable the plan will end up being. So.
Yeah.
So from there, I just hit complete, and that forms the basis of the marketing plan, with all the actions, the goals, and the metrics that sort of I want to be completing over the next 12 months to sort of get to where I think we can be. So then coming down here, sort of, it's got a list of the marketing plan I just made, as well as the other plans that sort of have been created. So next to each plan, you can review the performance of the plan, you can edit it, you can lock it, you can print it, save it, or turn it into a PDF to email. The other nice thing is it has a status bar, which I quite like knocking things off my to-do list. I think most people probably do. It's a thing deep in their psyche that sort of watching that progress bar grow towards completion is a good thing.
Yeah. So then, within just a few minutes, you've been able to create an action plan. That here is our basic business plan, which you can complete in just a few minutes. You've also got the opportunity to do a comprehensive business plan, which looks at your business, your market, your future, and your financials. And it gives you the opportunity to become a lot more complex with what you want to achieve. So you're able to do to complete plans like that as well. And the basic business plan, can be done in 5 to 10 minutes. The more comprehensive business plan, it's about 30 minutes per section. So that was great. Thanks for showing us how easy it is to put together a plan, Paul, and for sharing all your insights. We hope you've learned a bit more about how Business Propel can help you achieve your business goals and plan for the future. And if you've got any questions for us, you can drop us a line at customerservice@businesspropel.com.au, and we'll answer any questions that you might have. Meanwhile, stop by the site at businesspropel.com.au, and if you haven't had a chance yet, sign up and get started for free. It'll only take 5 minutes to assess your business and compare your results against other businesses to see